Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me here today. I really appreciate your time and taking the time out of your busy day to watch this masterclass. It's free as mentioned. There's no opt-in. You're already here. We're going to get right into it. But before we get any further, I don't want to waste any of your time. Okay, I don't want this isn't going to be a 90-minute webinar. I'm not going to draw it all out, but I do want to make sure you're in the right spot. Okay, I'm going to tell just a little bit about myself, like why you should even pay attention to this. But first, let's just talk about who this is even for. All right. It's for anybody looking for passive income to either supplement your current income or completely get out of the rat race. All right. I'm going to talk about my story very briefly. Again, I'm not going to make this about me. I'm going to make it about bringing as much value to you guys as possible. But I was an ex-professional baseball player, got released, thrown into the wild, had no idea what to do. Right. But I wanted to create generational wealth for my family. And if that's you and you want to do it in real estate and not Wall Street casinos or any, again, Bitcoin, I'm not even going to get into that today. This is strictly about real estate and creating passive income and generational wealth. This isn't wholesale or flip or chasing checks. This is building passive, reoccurring income. Okay. And it could be if you're new, brand new, you don't know anything about it. Maybe you do. Maybe you're an experienced fix and flipper, residential agent, or broker. This requires zero license, just to be very clear. Or maybe you're a very experienced and sophisticated investor already in the multifamily space or commercial space, but you want to scale. Okay, maybe you're tapping out where you're at and you just want to scale and grow. So if that's you, I'm gonna get right into it, guys. But first, as mentioned, I'm gonna share why that was me a little while ago. That's my little princess. But I'm going to share why should you even listen to me? Okay. A little bit about me though, before I get into track record. Proud fathers, you can see, as I mentioned, ex-professional baseball, which who gives a crap? But I only share that because I want you guys to know that I did not have any prior experience to this. I didn't have family in the business. I didn't have a trust fund, and I was able to scale from zero, owning nothing but my single family residence, to over 1,000 units in the last 48 months. Okay. My first deal, I didn't have any money in it. And when I used to hear that, oh, no money down, no money, I'd run the other way. Okay. And you probably should, if you hear that from a lot of these gurus that aren't actually doing it in real time. The reason I don't have masterminds and taking on 1 million people to try to coach is because I'm closing deals, guys. I'm so busy closing deals, but I have so many people coming to me. I want to share this out there. And whatever it's worth, guys, if you do stick around, I'm going to give you some other free resources. I do have very limited spots that I work with very select few people. So there's a chance to apply at the very end, but that's not what this is about. This is about giving you as much value as possible. I'm a business owner, entrepreneur, and self-made. Again, didn't come from any family, but some track record. Actually, before I get into track record, this is where my little girl helping me out. Again, pro baseball player, 5 years, and then I got injured. Excuse me. And didn't have any backup plan at all whatsoever. I thought I was going to make it to the big leagues, played in minor leagues, making $1,250 a month, or it was not a lot of money. And for the hope and dream to one day get to the big leagues. And that got taken away from me from an injury and didn't know where to start. But I did hear a big leaguer say one of my last years that he didn't make his millions in baseball. He made it owning thousands of apartment units in Detroit, Michigan. And I was like, wow, this guy wasn't smarter than me. He didn't go to college. I did go for a little bit, but I didn't finish. I didn't have any degree. I didn't have any fancy Ivy League connections, and didn't know where to start. So thought it was getting a real estate license. That was not the case. But I did start my brokerage. I am a commercial licensed broker, but our main business is private equity. We buy mobile home communities now. It's a subset of multifamily, and that's our main business. I did start my own real estate brokerage in 2017 and then co-founded with my now business partner, Tyler, MHCI Group in 2019. Now we're the largest owners of mobile home communities in the state of Arkansas, based out of Florida, and we're in the top, broken into the top 100 owners in America for mobile home communities ownership. And our goal is to get to 10,000 units by 2030. And we're doing it with the exact same system and resources and what I'm going to show you here shortly. But also, if you say, well, hey, I don't like trailer parks or mobile home parks, That's okay. We're going to show you there's different subsets. I keep saying subsets. There's different asset classes, okay? There's different subsets of a multifamily, right? Student housing, you can do apartments and convert them into different type of assets, but we're going to go over that here in a bit. But let me just share with you kind of what we're going to go over today and how to do it. Really, there's three major categories in the syndication. And just to back up a little bit, the definition of syndication is pulling resources together for a common goal. In this case, it's buying apartment buildings, okay? Or whatever commercial asset you're looking for. All right, but the three main pieces of that is finding the right real estate investment vehicle, whether that's self-storage, apartments, retail, office, whatever your niche is that you find, and how do you find those deals? This isn't just go on LoopNet, find overpriced listings from brokers. That's tough to raise capital for. Okay, a broker's job is solely to get the highest price for the seller and close. Okay, and I'm a broker too, so I'm not trying to crap all over brokers, but we source 90+% of our deals off market direct to the seller. We find the best deals, and that protects us, guys, because we buy right. Okay, so we show how to do that. I cold call. That's how I've got in the business. I learned how to cold call. You guys might not want to hear that if you hate cold calling, but you'll either have to learn, find someone else. There's some other strategies I will share, but that is the best way to do it. That is how I've had all my success, and even met my business partner today when he actually hung up in my face, and that's a whole story in itself. But again, now we're partners on over 1,000 units. Second piece of that is analyzing the deal. How to find the deal is one thing, but then how do you even know if it's a good deal? Okay, all these sellers out there still overpriced. How do you evaluate it? How do you know? It's not like residential. You just go on Zillow and the Zestimate will tell you it's worth $600,000. Okay, we base it off the income. Well, how do you even know what to look for? Income. Sellers will lie, not always lie, but maybe they don't even know what they're spending. And brokers especially will just throw out a high number of the net operating income. So how do you really evaluate it and come up with cash on cash returns? What the heck is an IRR, right? An internal rate of return. Cap rates are pretty commonly heard of, NOI, etc. But you need to understand how to evaluate the deal, or you will never raise capital if you can't articulate how to come up with a return. And the third big item is how to get it under contract and go through the due diligence and then raise capital to close, and then even source the capital from lenders, banks, private lenders. There's capital stack. You may have never even heard of some of these words, so you got to understand the lingo. And I'll give you guys a free guide here. It has all those terms in it and some really good resources here. I'll give you a free guide if you stick around. But those are the three main pieces of this business. But there is a but. There is a lot of steps in between those three. Okay, for instance, you research the property like we talked about, how to find the deal, but you got a cold call. We go over, I'm going to show you our resources that we use in my scripts that I say. What do I say to get the first appointment? You don't just go to these appointments and let them take over, right? You got to control the meeting, but you do that with questions. What questions do you ask? Okay, the first meeting, your whole goal is to get to the second meeting with a proposal on your offer. All right, but at the first meeting, you have to have more of a discovery meeting. You don't do this over the phone on the first cold call. You hook the meeting, and then you uncover why they should even sell, or their pain points on why they want to sell, or maybe things that they haven't even thought of that's gearing them up to want to sell. And then you get the rent roll and profit and loss statement, and then you move to the second meeting. This says exclusive listing, but if you're not an agent or a broker, you're going to be sending your offer out, okay, and create a offering package. So I'm gonna show this, guys, and it goes all the way through to post closing. I'm going to go through these steps here today. But how do you get a real estate license? Well, guys, you do not need one. That was a question I asked myself. You do not need one for this business. It is the most beautiful thing. You can actually take a acquisition fee at closing, similar to how a broker would. But now you own the deal, you get a fee up front, and now you have your passive income for the long haul. So maybe you guys have been flipping houses, getting checks and upside down, and then that's great. You can make a lot of money. I know guys that are crushing, making millions of dollars, but guess what? They're having to go find the next one, create the next one, Don't want to do that. It's not a sustainable model, guys. And it's not passive. It is not passive. Even if you have guys doing it for you, that dries up one day. Okay. What if the market takes a dump like it did? Then what? Where's it coming in from? Okay. Apartments. This is what I fell in love with because I remember just looking at these buildings and I was like, wow, $2,000 each one of those, basically windows, right? Think about that. And who owns that? I didn't even think it was possible that one or two or three or just a group of normal people, right, with the right information could actually do this stuff. So again, we're in mobile home park space, but this is all relative in all the different asset classes. Before I get into how to source the deals for free, guys, I do have some software. I have other resources at the end of this. You will have the opportunity if you want to have those. It'll definitely cut a lot of time from the way I'm going to show you, but it is possible to do everything here with some free resources online. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute. But you may want to do this with student housing. Maybe there's some offices that are coming to default right now that you could get really good deals on and either convert those or put those back into an office. Retail, hotel, motel, lodging, Airbnbs. Guys, you can do this literally with anything. I mean, I got guys that are doing this that I've heard in farmland and crops and all sorts of different alternative investments. But again, we're focusing on the commercial real estate here. So if you want to do that, not saying you can't here, but this is what we focus on. And this is what I do literally every day. So I'm going to jump into it, guys. Let me pop over here. Let me just show you guys what I use every day. Here's our portal. So if you are part of our community, you do get access to this. And I'm gonna just walk through this. This is the 90-day action plan that I was referring to earlier that goes week by week. So we break down our goals, and I'm not going to go over those right now because I know you guys are just like, Jason, show me how to find off-market deals and get to it. But this is all relative, guys. So if you got to know how to plan your goals, set your goals, SMART goals. This is from Brian Tracy. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time limited, right? You got to put time on this or your subconscious is just going to keep going forever, right? You got to put a timestamp on it. If you guys remember that story, Jim Carrey, when he was starting acting, he wrote himself a check for $10 million, literally date too, December. Gives me the chills just hearing this because it's true. I wrote down 100 units forever. Boom, first deal was 68. And then we got to 200. Now we're hitting 1,000. It's crazy how things can happen. And he wrote $10 million on a check and he dated it, whatever, December of whatever year. Few years into it, he did Dumb and Dumber, $10 million. And it was insane. So you got to have specific goals and measurable goals. But we're going to show you here. We're just going to hop into the research and database. Okay, guys, because your business planning, all that, great. If you want more information on this and you want, most of you don't need more courses and just more information overload. You do need the right specific information, but some of you just want to get into more resources. You might be experienced and be like, Jason, I just want to scale. I want to know how to just scale this thing out and grow. So I'm just going to get into it. Maybe you're building your list from scratch. Right here, I show you how to do this in here, step by step by step. And I give some more resources. But a lot of these guys are free. These are all free. I just make it convenient in this portal. But for example, here I'll go property appraisers. Here's how you'd get a free list. Okay, I actually import lists into, if you have our CRM and our system, I import leads with all the ownership record, first name, last name, phone numbers. Okay, this, if you go on the property appraisers, you're gonna have to do more work. But look, here's multifamily these are under 10 units here. Let's see, these are over, that was under 10 units, here's over. So let me just share with you, how many are there? 670. This is throughout where I'm at in Florida, but every county is going to be different, guys, but you're going to go to your property appraisers website. All right. Here, whoops. And then, everyone's going to be a little bit different depending where you're at, but you can export this list into a mailer list. Okay. I have direct mail campaigns, all sorts of ways to get a hold of sellers, but you need to start with the property. So here it is. Let me get a little more specific. I'll put Daytona. All right, so let's check out, let's just pick one. So now you got, how many is this? How many units? 12. Okay, here's 12 units. So it's probably 6 and 6, 2 buildings. Okay, nice. Owner is right here. Bel Air Palms LLC. All right, now what do you do? Well, there's a lot of good information, guys. You probably already know the property appraisers has all accurate, or should be as accurate as possible. We have other resources we have that, again, we'll pull the owner, because now we got to go find who owns this entity. Okay, they're not going to have their first names on here because these people want to hide behind this LLC, and that's why it's a limited liability company. They want to have a buffer between them and the property in case anything happens. But you get a lot of good information. When was the last time it traded? Okay, the sale of property. That's really good to see if it's time for them to sell, or maybe they just bought it. Things are going sideways. You never know. So you've got to always prospect. But now, if you're following along, go to the Secretary of State. Here's in the portal. But again, this is a free website you can find. And go to your state, has all of them. And you go to find it. Boom, active. Make sure it's active. Some of these dissolve and they're inactive. Here's Bel Air Palms. I don't want to give too much of their information. Here they are, though, in Ormond Beach. So now what do? Well, now you got to find their phone number. All right. Let me go back to the portal. Come on. Okay, so if you go down to the research and development call, or well, research and database, and here's a free one, guys, True People Search. Click on that, put their name in there. Oh, not the LLC, do not put it. It was Mary Hadamir, I believe, in Ormond. Okay, type it. Make sure they're in Ormond. Yep, there it is. And I don't want to give personal information, but guys, it's right here. And there's a bunch of phone numbers, so I don't want to share this or I'll blur it out. But it's all right here, guys. This is free. This is golden information. This is what I wanted to try to figure out. This was the only thing I ever wanted to know, okay? So now, what do you do once you get that information? Well, if you know what you're saying, you call them on the phone, all right? I have scripts in here. Right on the business development call, okay? There's steps of the cold call, guys. You don't just randomly start saying everything. This isn't, I don't want to downgrade single family, but you can hire a virtual assistant to do this, but you need to train them on what to say. These guys will eat you alive out there. These commercial guys and apartment owners are very sophisticated. They're busy entrepreneurs. They don't have time to listen to you. Oh, how's your day, mister? They're going to hang up on you all day. So you got to develop a script, have open-ended questions. I have more videos in here, but craft your script. Okay, I have that in here as well. You can download. But once you get them to the meeting, you're going to want the rent roll. And here is so many financial models, and there's free resources. As again, you go in here, underwrite. Here's a good one. Deal check. This will plug and play, but you need to know how to come up and what to plug and play. All right. We go over the cash on cash return. That's probably the most important metric for us personally. But then you're going to be putting together an offering memorandum. All right, what is an offering memorandum? Well, you're going to have two. So when you get to, and I have a few different templates that you can just plug and play. But if you're not, if you're going for the cheap free seats, go online. You can probably Google or go to PowerPoint really for free, or you might have to pay for Microsoft Word, whatever. And go take pictures of the property. Go to the property appraiser. Put all that information in there. Confirm it with the owner that this is their property, this is accurate, it was built in 1980, whatever it is, and you're going to put together an offering memorandum for the seller on price, okay? Because there's two. One's going to be for the seller once you get under contract, okay? We have contracts in here. We have a whole contract vault right here, all right? Contract vault with multifamily letters of intent, purchase sale agreements. It goes on and on. But once you get it under contract, you're going to have a completely different marketing package that's going to look going to look like this, guys. It's going to be, this is one we did. We just closed on 200 units a couple months ago, and it's going to have the business plan for your investors. I'm going to breeze through this, but just to give you an idea. Come on. The financial analysis, here it is. Here's the projection, 10-year projection. Here's the cash on cash returns. Here's the post refinance returns. Okay. You're going to have property descriptions, photos, because a lot of these investors will be out of town, guys. They're not going to maybe be by the asset. They're going to want to see comparables. How do they know it's a good deal? How do they know it's you're buying it below market, or even if it's at par? Why is it, what's around it comparable that you're buying? Again, this is not like Zillow. It's based off income, and you can force depreciation with this. Get the demographics, the track record of you or your sponsors. Here's us. This is why we like state of Arkansas. Here's our portfolio that we own through the state. This was a little outdated. See, we closed on 300 units since then. We're over 1,000 units now. So that is going to be huge. And if you don't have a track record, because you may say, well, Jason, that's great. You guys own 1,000 units. Well, yeah, this is my first deal. Well, get with people. Okay. It's called a KP, a key principle. We now have the track record to be able to be that for somebody else potentially, right? But my first deal, I didn't have the track record. Okay. So what did I have to do? I had to bring so much value to the table, signed on the debt, negotiated owner finance terms. I brought so much value, and they saw my work ethic, and we did 68 units for just over $1 million. So this is where we at? The offering memorandum right here. So once you get that, you're going to be marketing this to investors. All right. Some of these are here for my commercial brokers. These are a lot of websites that you guys can go browse through. You see LoopNet. You can just look at information. I put these more for just looking to see what's out there. You might be able to comb through some other brokers' offering memorandums and find some good information and see what the market's at. Okay. Then you're going to be going through due diligence. So make sure you know your due diligence plan. Or a checklist. We have a whole 30-day due diligence plan, from calling down to the city to hiring vendors and third-party contractors to negotiating with lenders and sending to the title company, reviewing the title, getting your phase one, environment. I mean, there's so many. Guys, I can't go through this all today. Again, I told you it wasn't going to be 90 minutes, but I'm showing you A to Z. Literally, this is every step. I'm just condensing it. Just to give you guys ideas and some free resources out there. Okay. I hope this is bringing value to you guys, because I'm literally do this every day. I refer to this every single day because we're pushing deals forward. Private money. I have a whole list of 3,000 lenders throughout the US that you have to call, guys. If you don't get a yes, it's because you haven't called enough people. All right. If you're not in this database, you can go online and just search private lenders. You can find them out there. Okay. Here's our downloadables, cold call scripts, etc. But again, I'm not going to make this a sales pitch. But you might be screening property managers, guys, during your due diligence. So this is the next part. Once you're raising capital, you're going through your due diligence. It's a good deal. You might be the manager. Okay. But you might want to screen. Here's questions, what to ask property management in town. All right. Because you're now going through due diligence. You're almost at the finish line here. Okay. I'm not going to get into so much on the different types of syndications, whether you're doing a joint venture, a 506C or B, or we do a Reg D, 506B, and we've done 506Cs on the last few. So those can cost you $10,000 to $15,000 or more. We have the templates, especially my one-on-one guys. I actually just worked Mark and Chris. They closed in 10 weeks. So 90-day program. They closed their first deals, 39 units in 10 weeks. All right. The PPM for that, we had it, but it was $6,000. We ended up getting that reimbursed at closing, right? They'd had an acquisition fee. They doubled their investment into the program. So, not making this salesy, just telling you facts and real-time data. So, we have samples of the offering memorandums. What are the different types of partnerships? You can download a subscription agreement, get some. I read through, I can't say hundreds of them, many different sponsors offering memorandums to see what's out there. What kind of splits are they doing? Okay. So that you're going to have to figure out. Okay. If you do want more help or learn more about that, but you will find out. Maybe you're just doing a joint venture. Okay. Somebody's bringing the money, you're bringing the operations. Boom. That's how you can do it. And then you're closing the deal, guys. You're now all the way through here. You've removed the financing contingency because your lender approved it. The due diligence went through. Okay, you went through the here we go. So you went through the inspection period. You had all your contractors give you bids. You know what kind of capital expenditures you're going to be outlaying there for that project. So now you're ready to close. But what happens at closing, guys? You got prorations with the seller. How are they divvying up the rents? Who's taking the expenses that month? So who's signing on the loan if you're taking out a loan? If it's an owner finance, you're going to need a note drawn up. Okay, so post-closing is onboarding. Like if you are the manager in this asset, you're going to be onboarding it into some sort of system. We use Rent Manager. There's Appfolio. There's a million of them out there, guys. But that's going to be the post-closing. And you're going to have this is why, guys, you can do it. You can be the lone wolf. I'm telling you, if you think you can do this on your own, you're not going to be able to scale, okay, at that by yourself, just to be frank. I always thought I could do it on my own, and I got my brokerage, I got some business set up, but then to scale, it took a team, guys. I got operators on the ground. I got whole call centers in different countries. And I show you guys how to do this, but you need, and we're the property management. We build our property management team too. So you can source that out, but maybe we're control freaks but we like to have control of the asset because we are bringing on investor funds and we want to know that their capital and our capital is invested in this. We put over $1 million in our last deal. So we want to know what's going on, but that's it, guys. A to Z. I mean, that's really it. If you do want to apply to work one-on-one, just hit the red button, see if you apply. This isn't some $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 mastermind, guys. I don't have a sales team. It is me. That's why, again, I'm taking very few people because I'm closing deals. I'm not focused on a mastermind yet, but I do want to give the resources also. So if you do apply and you don't qualify right now to work one-on-one, we have few lower ticket items that have all these resources, guys. There's quite a few at pretty much every price point. Okay. But I give lifetime access to this, everything. And you guys have probably seen this too. This is the last thing I'll say here, just to show you. This probably looks familiar. And we customized this. This is actually our investors. So we spent about $50,000 to set this up. You can get Go High Level, HubSpot, all sorts of free. High Level is not free, but we customized this. Here's a 30-day lead challenge where we ended up setting this up where we had inbound investor leads come in. Okay, again, took 50,000. I have this snapshot already imported in here, so you just got to spend a little bit of money on Facebook if you want to do that. But we have. I'm not going to get into the CRM, guys, because you've probably seen a lot of this, but we have a deal room where on every Wednesday, I get on every single Wednesday live, go through deals, go through some trainings. If you have a deal you want underwritten, it's on there. Here's our investor training portal in here. So everything's in this system. And here's the pipelines to raise capital and keep track of owners, guys. Once I import, if you do have this with us, I import all the leads in your specific market, off market. So if you're in Atlanta, and you want 20 to 100 units off market, I import those and all the ownership records, their phone numbers, the names, numbers, everything. And it's all there, guys. So if you want to check that out, just apply and you will see everything we have, guys. And again, if you don't qualify at this time, you can still get into our community, and I look forward to closing deals with you guys. I hope this brought you value, guys, and look forward to seeing you on the inside.